Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got a really good one for you today. We're going to be watching Bringing in $420,000 a year as a recent US citizen by CNBC Make It. But before we jump into the video, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button as well. I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like to, you can also share it with a friend. But enough of that, let's just jump right into the video.
I wanted to have the family that I never had as a child. I wanted to provide them with everything that I didn't get to enjoy as a child. Coming from Peru, I always knew that money is important and you only get as far as your efforts. I do my IT consulting business with a partner, and I also work full-time as a cybersecurity contractor.
So just right off the bat, there really is so much opportunity in the United States. You know, and I think when a lot of people move here, I think they understand that. They see that vision, they know how to go after it. I think for a lot of us that are from here, you know, we kind of grew up with it. I think we're kind of used to it. I think we don't see it as clearly, but it's just important to remember, like, we do live in the land of opportunity. You really can't accomplish anything you want to. Yeah, those are just my initial thoughts. It's really cool that he was able to see a vision and really carry it out. So I 100% agree with what he's saying.
My wife works full-time on the daycare, part-time as a real estate agent. For the snow plowing, we have drivers that work for us during winter. My name is Eddie Nunez. I'm 34 years old, and my wife and I bring in $420,000 a year.
Wow, they've got a lot of stuff going on. That's super impressive. He's doing like IT consulting, his wife's running a daycare, they've got like a snow plowing business. That's insane. You know, just managing one or two jobs can seem super stressful. I have no idea how they're managing all of that, but good for them. They found a lot of opportunities and are really just seeking them all out, and it seems like they're doing a great job. So that's great.
Our life was very difficult back in Peru. My mom really struggled. She saw the assassination of her parents right in front of her. She suffered domestic violence.
Yeah, I can't even imagine going through something like that. So I really feel for him, and I really feel for his mom and their situation. But I'm glad he had the opportunities that he's had. He's definitely had it rough, but it seems like he's made the most of it. So I'm super proud of him for that. Yeah, that would be really hard to go through.
Crossing the border is not easy, especially for a 14-year-old. But I had one goal in mind, so I just kept pushing and going, and I made it here.
Yeah, I mean, similar to the other things he has going on in his life, he just seems like a really determined guy. So good for him that he was able to do that.
Classes were $1,500 to $1,700 per class. I couldn't apply for financial aid. I couldn't get any federal grants. So I was paying out of pocket. They wanted somebody better for their daughter. And I completely understand that now that I'm a parent. My wife and I decided to get married in secret. So unfortunately, Canada couldn't officially or lawfully give me asylum.
Dang, this guy's just had roadblock after roadblock. It's amazing what he's been able to make of his life. It's actually super inspiring. You know, I can't relate to a lot of those roadblocks myself. So it's really cool to see that someone who's, you know, been disadvantaged like that is able to, you know, really work hard and pull through and make something of themselves. So it's really inspiring.
So they had to send me back to the United States, and I ended up in immigration jail. I'd never been arrested. I never got in any type of trouble with the law before. So for me, it was shocking to be detained. I felt like a criminal. So I was desperate to get out. I would sign my name and I would go there every single day to study my case.
And he even presented his own case to the judge. I mean, I had no idea what this video is going to contain. I actually think this is super important and interesting to discuss. And obviously this channel isn't political at all, so I just want to clarify that. But you just have to wonder why someone who's so talented, so hardworking, so intelligent, why are they being detained and locked up and being put through this process? They're such an asset to our economy. They're hardworking. I don't understand that. Yeah, but that's just my thoughts.
And the judge told me, I'm gonna grant you asylum. You presented a really good case. You explained everything in detail. You defended yourself well in front of the prosecutor. And she also told me, don't ever put your head down for anybody. Be proud of yourself.
Yeah, and that's just a really good judge. That's really cool that they offered him those words of encouragement. And again, I think he's just a really intelligent guy. I'm sure that came across, and I'm sure he did well in his case. But yeah, that's really hard to go through. So again, it's just really impressive that he was able to go through that and make the most of it. And because he did, it worked out for him. He put in the work and it worked out. So good for him. That would be really hard.
I felt like I had lost so much time. And I also knew that studying medicine was going to be extremely expensive. So I decided to pursue a degree in cybersecurity.
Yeah, he just has a good head on his shoulders. Like, pursuing medicine really is just so expensive, so time consuming. If you're really passionate about it, I think that you should go for it. I'm not saying that nobody should go into medicine. We obviously need doctors. I think it's like a calling driven occupation, right? It's something that someone's called to do and they're passionate about it, and that's great. But it's not something to go into for the money if that's your only reason for doing it. Cybersecurity obviously is a huge need right now in our economy. It's definitely a super fast growing industry. So I think that was a really good decision by him. And again, I feel like this guy just makes good decisions.
As soon as I got my associate's degree from Northern Virginia Community College, I started looking for jobs. Any IT job I started applying for. Now I work as a cybersecurity contractor full-time.
Ooh, that's a great salary. Good for him. Dang.
One of the people that I admired, I saw one interview from him, Mark Cuban, and I remember the phrase he used. He said, like, you only have to be right once. So I had many crazy ideas, and my wife, who was always pushing me from behind, she was like, that's a great idea, let's make it happen.
Again, I like his mindset. He's just hustling. He has a full-time job. I'm sure it's not easy. I'm sure it's time intensive. I'm sure he works really hard at that one job, and I'm sure it's exhausting. But on top of that, he's still an entrepreneur. His wife is too. Together, they own a lot of businesses, it seems like. So good for them. He's just hustling. It's really cool.
We bought our first truck in 2011, and we got a contract with the Virginia Department of Transportation, pushing snow in the winters, that we were able to buy another truck the next year, and then we bought 2 trucks the following year. We kept buying until we had 10 trucks.
That's awesome. But one thing I would worry about is I feel like the state of Virginia is probably his main client. So if they were to switch vendors or to cut off the supply, I feel like that business could lose all of its revenue really quickly. So just whenever you're depending on one client for all your revenue, that does seem like it'd be risky, but he's a smart guy. I'm sure he's thought of that, but that's just my thought is those government contracts can be great, but I feel like it could also be pulled away any second, and then he'll have 10 trucks that he's responsible for. So yeah, I don't know, maybe he'll jump into that. They really capitalized on that storm. Like, look at all of that freaking snow. That's crazy.
Now she has 12 kids that she takes care of, and her business does very well. It brings around $168,000 a year.
They had one kid, and then she decides to open up a daycare. Makes sense. She's already taking care of one kid. You might as well take care of other kids and get paid for it too. I mean, that would be a really hard job in my opinion, but she's making 6 figures doing that, so that's crazy. It seems like that's a really good business opportunity that a lot of people could do if that's a skill set and if they're patient with kids. That'd be cool. See, that's so smart. I knew he had thought about that. He's a smart guy. He downsized to 2 trucks after 2019. I'm sure the snow just wasn't keeping up. I'm sure demand wasn't keeping up. So he probably made a really good decision. Hopefully that worked out for him financially.
So with the money that I obtained from selling some snow trucks, and also the money that my wife was saving from daycare, we were able to save that money, and we started buying properties. Right now, we have 8 houses and 7 properties.
Wow. And let's just take a look at that. That is the way to do it. Look at all those different income streams. It makes it so he's not reliant on any one industry. He has his 9-to-5 secure salary over here. They have a daycare business. They have rental properties. They have various other businesses here. It's really diversified. If one of these went under, they would be totally fine. They would still be making a ton of money. And it sounds like they're taking this money and putting it in other businesses and investing it, which is great. This is super smart. So just super intelligent. Super intelligent. I'm super impressed.
My goal is to have 20 houses and also to buy 2 additional businesses. My plans for the future is to own more of my time and delegate more of the work that I currently have.
And that's really cool. He worked really hard. Again, he had so many roadblocks, so many obstacles. He just has a really, really impressive story. So good for him for sticking through it and just working hard. Again, it's really inspiring. Most of us don't have to go through what he's gone through. So really, it's really cool. It's really cool to hear.
I just started crying.
I want to start crying.
I'm happy to finally say, okay, I'm truly a citizen now.
Good for him.
And I'm happy to be here.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video today. That was a super inspiring story, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want more content just like this related to business and personal finance, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.